Ooh, welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me, it's your man, it's Ole Walls, and I'm back with you for episode 203. Got a fun one coming your way. I'm going to run solo this week. Before we get into any of that, though, just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody. So thank you for all the watches, the listens, the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys could, please like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, do all the stuff, share, follow me on the social medias. Just doing all that is a real big help for the pod. So if you could do that, you guys know the deal. That's the housekeeping, if you will. If you guys could do that, that'd be very, very helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Talking NFL football, talking some college football, talking Philadelphia Flyers, talking my passing thoughts. We got Thanksgiving coming this week, so hope everybody's ready for that. It's the best holiday of the year, bar none, bar none. So just want to, again, just thank you, and let's just get into the show, shall we? NFL Week 12. Let's start with my Green Bay Packers. A pretty easy win over the hated Minnesota Vikings. I mean, really, the thing I can say is defense was awesome. The defense was awesome again. J.J. McCarthy, 12 of 19, 87 yards, 2 interceptions. The offense was, yet again, kind of lackluster. No Golden this week. No Josh Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson filled in admirably. 28 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. I made a trade in a fantasy a little while back, and I had to trade away Javonte Williams to get Dak Prescott. 2-quarterback league. I needed another quarterback. And in trading away Javonte, I was like, I have to get some sort of back. So I had Jacobs. So I went with the handcuff route. I said, give me Emmanuel Wilson. Boy, did that pay off this week. That was necessary. But I digress. The defense was awesome. The offense, lackluster. I don't know what the deal is. They came out, and maybe Jordan Love is more banged up than he let on. I think they said AC joint, which essentially means his shoulder is separated. It's his off shoulder, but it's still got to matter. But they come out on the first drive after the Vikings kind of get down the field, but then the defense holds up and hold them to a 52-yard field goal, which they made. The offense comes right back, and 3 minutes later drives it right down the field. Wilson caps it off with a touchdown, and it felt more aggressive. It felt like some throws on second down, some throws on first down. And then they just completely went away from it. It's like, I don't know, maybe Love's not shoving it down the field himself, but then all of a sudden it's 10-6 at halftime. And it's like, oh no, here we go again. But we get the fumble in the third quarter. Green Bay punts. We get the fumble, recovery down at the goal line. Wilson punches it again. Touchdown. Here we go. And then it's just more of the same. It's just like 2 runs and a pass. And just no imagination at all. I mean, there was a point in the fourth quarter, they got it down into the red zone, ran it 7 straight times and kicked a field goal. They got the McDuffie pick midway through the fourth. They're up 20-6. It's like, just go score a touchdown. And the way the defense was playing and the kind of offense the Vikings have, it was probably over already, but it's like, let's just for sure end it. 2 runs, leaves them a 3rd and long, incomplete, field goal. It's like, we got to do more. We got to be better. I know for sure, we got to involve Christian Watson more. 5 receptions, 49 yards, 7 targets. It's like, that dude is looking like what we had hoped he was going to be. He's gone through some injury shit. But now he's looking like a good, possibly even maybe a number 1 type receiver. But like, let's use him. 21 throws. Like, Jordan Love can do this, I think. And we're just not. I don't know. It feels frustrating. It feels, like I said, it felt like it came out and they're like, in the first 15, it was like, let's be aggressive. Let's go do it. Let's be somebody. And then it's just like, revert. We're going to revert right back. And hey, again, a win's a win. 7-3-1. Second place in the division, trailing what I don't think to be is a good team. We're going to find out about that in a couple weeks. But the Packers got a tough stretch. At the Lions on Thursday, on Thanksgiving. The Lions are going to want a piece. The Lions are going to want a piece. They needed OT to beat the Giants. Jahmyr Gibbs. Hey-o. Talk about a baller this weekend. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Add that in with 11 receptions for 45 more yards and another touchdown. That was about 55 in the fantasy points. So the Lions are going to want a piece. Then it's the Bears, who, again, I don't think are very good. Then it's at the Broncos. It's at the Lions, if I didn't say that. Then it's at the Bears. So you get the Bears twice in 3 weeks. And then you go Ravens, Vikings. So as I'm looking at it, like Lions, it's funny. It lines up left side of my screen, right side of my screen. Left side is at the Lions, at the Broncos, Ravens come to town. That's probably going to be the Saturday night game. I think that's in the flex window there. I mean, if you get one of those, that'd be nice. You got to go get the other 3. You got to beat the Bears twice and go beat the Vikings again. And it's the second one is in Minnesota, which has been nightmare territory for the Packers, it feels like. I don't know if it really is. I don't know what the stats would tell you. The record, at when you compare, home versus away against the Vikings the last 10 years. But that feels like a nightmare going to Minnesota. Again, though, Minnesota stinks. So you should be able to do it. But you have to. I mean, they're 7-3-1 right now. You got to get to 10 wins, no doubt. 11 or 12 would be nice. What's the NFL playoff picture? It's about time I get this screen just queued up before I start this, because I love this screen. NFL playoff picture. Coming. I think right now the Packers are the 6th seed. Yes. So the 6th seed would get them as of this moment, the Bears in the playoffs, which again, I would relish. The Bucs are currently the 4, Seahawks currently the 5, Packers 6, 49ers 7, Eagles 2, Rams 1. Rams look so fucking good. So good. So good. So we'll see. We'll see with the Packers. They're just Jaden Reed maybe close to coming back. I think his 21, did they open his 21-day window? I think he practiced. Let's see what the news. Yeah, he practiced Monday. Actually, they said he practiced again, so I think his window got opened Friday. He practiced Friday, and the 21-day window for his eventual return action has started. Won't play against the Vikings. I'd be surprised if he plays Thursday. That'd be a really short turnaround. But I think you could see him playing against the Bears. Born in Naperville, guy would probably love to load it up against the Bears. So we'll see. The Packers got to find some way to be more dynamic on offense. I think Jaden Reed could help. I think a healthy Matthew Golden would help if he could find any sort of way to utilize him. I think utilizing Christian Watson right would be better. I think going to the pass a little more often might help. I mean, 21 attempts. Also, the Packers just don't have possessions. If you look at it, it's just like they're just not getting possessions. So, All right, let's spin around the rest of the NFL. Bills, Texans, Thursday night. Slop fest for the Buffalo Bills. David Mills gets the win. the Houston Texans, 6-5. Josh Allen ends up with 253 yards for the year, but was sacked 8 times, I believe is the number. 8 times. The Kansas City Chiefs refuse to go quietly into the night. They are currently, I think it said 55%. Yeah, 55% chance of making the playoffs right now after that win over the Colts. The roommate was giving me some real shit about that. What was the score? It was 20-9. She's like, "Oh, I thought you and MJ said the Colts were legit. Or Chiefs were legit." You know what? I said to her, I go, just wait. Just wait. They'll be in this. They'll be in this. And sure enough, middle of the fourth quarter, score a touchdown, game-tying field goal as time expires, and then they win it in overtime, and the Kansas City Chiefs are alive. The Colts acquitted themselves very well in that game. Not Daniel Jones' best game. I was watching on Red Zone, so you don't get the full picture. It didn't look like he had his best game. The stats don't lay out a great game, but they don't lay out a horrendous game. 19 of 31, 181, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. He also 3 for 16. Didn't do much on the ground. Jonathan Taylor, that's kind of the story. They boxed up Jonathan Taylor. 16 carries, just 58 yards for Jonathan Taylor. The Seahawks came out firing. All of a sudden, the Seahawks in the second half are up 30-10, 23-3 at one point, gets up to 30-10. And then the Titans just kind of hang around, score a touchdown at the end of the third quarter. Stays a 13-point game. They score a touchdown late in the fourth. It's 30-24. But the Seahawks were dominating that game for the most part. JSN, Jackson, Smith, in Jigba now has the most receiving yards in a single season for the Seattle Seahawks in franchise history. Again, week 12, ladies and gentlemen. Week 12. 1-2. There's 6 more weeks left. 6 more weeks. 8 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. JSN remains the best thing I've done on fantasy this year. I mean, picking the best fantasy wide receiver. I mean, that remains the best thing I did. Not really a hot take, but, Ravens keep winning. The Jets hung around in that game, had the lead at halftime. It was 7-3 at halftime before the Ravens kind of stretched that out. Jets again hung around 14-10 or 17-10 in the fourth quarter. But the Ravens, I believe the Ravens are tied for the division lead now. Can you believe that? Yeah. They are tied for the division lead. Nutty. Absolutely nutty. Nuttiness. I think that's 5 wins in a row for them now. Giants go down in overtime to the Lions. I mentioned that. Jameis Winston remains an electric factory. He was out there catching passes as well. He's like, you want me to be tight end? I'll be a tight end. The Bears, yet again, equaling out. 1-score game. Decided kind of, down to the wire. It was back and forth. They were down 21-14. They get up 10. The Bears are giving me issues. I'm going to talk fantasy here again. But I got Manungai. Same league where I got the handcuff with Josh Jacobs. I also had Swift, and I got the Manungai handcuff. I did that at the start of the year. Now they're going to Manungai, but Swift is starting, and it's like, oh, you got me in a pickle. I'm in a real pickle. Real shame Rodgers wasn't able to play. I would have loved to seen Rodgers beat the Bears just one last time. Would have been just a perfect end to Aaron Rodgers' career if in this last year he could go and beat the Bears just one more time and just look up into that crowd and just say, I still own you. I still own you. Would have been awesome. But alas. Patriots beat the Bengals. Last game for Cool Joe. It appears Joe Burrow will be starting for the Bengals this week. Shedeur Sanders in his first start leads the Browns to victory. Not a bad showing by him. 11 to 20, 209, touchdown, interception. Had a real nice throw early in the game. On the run, moving right, downfield, like a 55-yard pass. Almost all of it through the air. Real nice throw and catch there. That looked like a pretty competent, high-level quarterback throw. At the same time, he threw a terrible interception. We'll see. He's young. He's got to grow. He's going to tell you he's awesome. You have no doubt about that. The Jags remain just a fucking mystery. Trevor Lawrence does good things and then does some of the worst things you've ever seen an NFL quarterback do. He ends up 18 of 30, 256, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's like, what are we getting here? What are we getting? Just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Trey McBride continuing to have just a really nice season. 9 catches, 79 yards. Michael Wilson, a nice little game. 10 catches, 118 yards this weekend. But Trey McBride, just a workhorse. I'm going to interject some of my fantasy here. He's on one of my fantasy teams. It's the beauty of having 6 fantasy teams. You've always got somebody on one of your teams. He's just like steady Eddie, man. Like gets enough targets, makes the catches, gets into the end zone. It's fun. Excuse me. Cowboys-Eagles wins the award for drunkest game of the year. We had fumbles all over the place. We have the Cowboys getting stuffed on the goal line. We have the Eagles just fumbling it again. This game was out of control. It felt like the only way for this game to end was the regulation was for Aubrey to bang it wide right. And it looked like he was gonna for a second. Or when Dak was doing like, we're going to kneel it and then we're going to spike it. All I was thinking to myself was the way this game's going, it feels like Dak should fumble this snap after doing the knee and then not be able to get the spike off and fall on it. And then all of a sudden the game is over and they go to overtime. But that didn't happen. Dak, 354, 2 touchdowns, ran one in as well. George Pickens, 9 receptions, 146 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, however, has had 7 drops in the last 2 games against the Eagles. That's a lot. Oh, I forgot to mention Myles Garrett has 18 sacks through 11 games. We talked about JSN having a year and setting the all-time record for receiving yards already. The thing about receivers is you're just going to keep getting yards, especially if you're the number one. It would be wild if Myles Garrett didn't get another sack for the rest of the year. But it wouldn't be wild he gets like 2 or 3. Like JSN's going to tack on in the last 6 games like another 600 yards. Almost assuredly. I don't think this is going to happen, but it wouldn't be crazy if Myles Garrett only got 3 sacks for the rest of the year. But either way, 18 sacks through 11 games. That is nutty. I also forgot to mention the Jags. They were, I take notes here. My notes are terrible. Jags elect to not kick the field goal. Give up game-tying field goal with 3 seconds left. What are Jags? I wasn't even drinking yesterday, and I wrote that shenanigans. It was what happened. So the Jags had went up with a touchdown, 24-21, with 3:47 left in the fourth. They got the ball back. They could have kicked a field goal with, it was probably 45 seconds to a minute 30, somewhere in that range. They could have kicked it. I want to say it was less than a minute. They could have kicked a field goal to go up 6, but they end up going for it. And then the Cards get the ball back and end up being able to tie this game. The Jags end up winning in overtime. I was like, just kick the field goal, man. Make them go the length. And I get it. Be aggressive. Go get it. But it just felt like just kick the field goal. That's what it felt like. I don't know. The Panthers are hanging around with the 49ers. It's currently 10-3 right now. Bryce Young has thrown an interception. He was coming off a hell of a game. But these are both very interesting teams. The 49ers have been ravaged by injuries. They've lost 3 or 4 guys, including Nick Bosa, to season-ending injuries. Purdy was out. Kittle was out. So many people. They showed a thing today, and it was just like, holy shit, that's like 70 games missed from some of their studs. And here they are. The San Francisco 49ers competing in that stacked NFC West. The Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers probably all have a pretty solid chance of making the playoffs. Like, honestly, it looks like there's 7 playoff slots. You're getting the Eagles pretty much out of the NFC East. The Cowboys have an outside chance now that they're 5-1. The NFC North, you got the Bears, the Packers, the Lions. I actually think, honestly, the Bears have the least chance to make the playoffs of those teams. The Bucs or Panthers, that's a one team division. And then you got the West. Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. I think you see all 3 of those teams make it. You get the Bucs or the Panthers, you get 2 in the North, and you get the Eagles. So, I mean, they're just keeping pace out there. And then let's talk about the Rams. The Rams just put it on the Bucs. And I know the Bucs were down Mike Evans and they're a little beat up, but 34-7, Matt Stafford, 25 of 35, 273, 3 touchdowns. Puka, 7 receptions, 97 yards. I believe Devontae had at least 2 touchdowns. Yep, 2. 5 catches, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. And their defense is good. The Rams are a unit. They're a unit. So, yeah. The Rams are somebody, man. The Rams are somebody. What do we got next week? Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, all on Thanksgiving Day. We're done with buys, right? No more buys? I think we're out of buys, or is there still some buys? Let me check. Did they not do week 13 buys and then do some buys in week 14? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's got to be a couple buys in week 14, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's a couple buys in 14, but none in 13, I don't think. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, no buys week 13, some buys week 14. Week 14 buy. Wild. So the Thursday slate's actually nice. Cowboys, Chiefs, Packers, Lions, good games. You get Bengals, Ravens. Ravens kind of on the resurgence. Bengals coming back. Feels like the Ravens play a lot of that night game. Let me see. Is there a way? Thanksgiving NFL night game amount of games played. Let's see if we can get something here. Since 2006. I don't care about the home team controversy. Results. Oh, this is like everybody. Shit. NFL Network Pudding Pie Award. That's weird. Lions Packers was the most played Thursday night game or Thursday game. Oh, last year when they played in 2023, or 2 years ago when they played in 2023, that was the first time they played it in over 10 years. Huh. How about it? This is not helping me whatsoever. The Cardinals have played 23. No, I don't. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. This can help me a little bit. Ravens. Last year's Packers, Dolphins. Okay, I'm looking back and now I'm just apparently imagining that the Ravens have played this game more often than they have. Because I can't find another one at all. At all. 2013 Ravens Steelers was the last time it happened. It was the last time, but then the Ravens were there in 2011 as well. So there was okay, I'm just completely wrong. Okay, that means it's time to move on. Let's talk some college football, shall we? Why don't we start off with my Penn State Nittany Lions? A victory over Michigan State on Saturday, and we're already getting. That Michigan State was a victory over Nebraska on Saturday, pretty convincingly, and we're getting a lot of we should hire Terry Smith to be the next head coach. And it's a lot of what you see as the interim. The team rallies behind the interim coach, and you see a lot of support. But I just want to take a second here. And I know this is being done with a backup quarterback because Drew Aller's hurting out. But aside from that, it's mostly the same team. He's 2-3 with losses at Iowa, against Ohio State, and a loss against Indiana. And again, I know this is a super small sample size. I know Drew Aller's hurt. But that's the same stuff we complained about forever with Franklin. Franklin, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this last week. I think I forgot to. He officially took the job at Virginia Tech. I will say, not the greatest thing for Penn State that he stays in the recruiting backyard. But Penn State's a much more appealing place than Virginia Tech, I think, in the long term, as long as they make the right hire. And also, I want to say this with the Penn State hire. There's talk of oh, well, we haven't hired a guy yet. He's going to be so screwed for next year. Next year's not the issue. Super easy schedule next year. If you get a guy that can do something and bring in some people in the transfer portal, or even if you don't, you can even get lucky next year and just kind of sneak your way into the playoffs. But next year should not be the concern. Worry about, next year's 26. So worry about 27 and 28 and 29 and 30. That's what you should be worrying about with this head coaching thing. So back to the Terry Smith thing. And I also just want to throw this out there. He was wearing a Joe Paterno pin on Saturday. Fuck that. No, I don't want any part of that. If we get I know the dude played for him, and I know he probably has a good memory, a good history of his personal relationship with him. But Joe Paterno's a piece of shit, an absolute 100% grade A pile of shit. So I want to be as far distance from that as possible. And if Penn State comes around and starts embracing that, I'm out. 100% out. I will not be a part of that. Pretty much the only reason I convinced myself to stay a Penn State fan was that they did just kind of put that behind them so much. And we're done with that. That was an awful, 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 beyond comprehension, terrible thing. And if we're going to go back and embrace that, I'm completely done. I will just be done with college football. That is not something I'm interested in being a supporter of in any way, shape, or form. If you start embracing Joe Paterno. So just want to get that out there. Elsewhere in college football, The SEC took the week off, essentially. There were a couple SEC teams. Tennessee went and beat Florida. Wisconsin actually beat Illinois, which is wild. Scored 27 points with their leading passer going 9 of 11 for 75 yards, which is just wild. They had another guy, 2 of 4 for 17. The Badgers get a big win. Vote of confidence for Luke Fickell. Oregon takes down USC rather convincingly. Miami beats Virginia Tech. The only game of the weekend was Oklahoma and Missouri, and that one was kind of a snoozer. It was 14-3 by the end of the first half, or then it got to be 14-6, and then there was a field goal very, very soon into the third quarter, and there were no other points scored. I was flipping that one on and off, and there's never much happening. Just never much happening. Notre Dame scored 70 points against Syracuse. 7-0. 70. And I already ran through the ranked matchups, the 2 ranked matchups. Now, this week coming up, Friday is a great slate of games. You get Utah, Kansas, and Ole Miss, Mississippi State to start the day Friday. You get a 3:30 game in Georgia Tech, Georgia. Nice. See what Georgia Tech actually is made of. They're hosting that game against Georgia. And you get Texas A&M going to Texas. That's a fun little Friday of football. Black Friday football is going to be nice because you get an NFL game on Friday as well. Who do we got there? We get Bears, Eagles. So Friday football. Talk about Friday football. Let's get some. Then you go to Saturday. A couple nice matchups Saturday. Obviously, you got Ohio State and Michigan in that noon slot. And you get Vandy, Tennessee at 3:30. And then the rest of it's just, like you get USC, UCLA, okay. LSU goes to Oklahoma. Could be all right. Virginia Tech, Virginia, sure. Auburn, Alabama. Auburn kind of stinks, so I don't know what we're getting there. But, it's you still get Ohio State, Michigan, and like I said, you get that Vandy, Tennessee game. A Vandy, Tennessee game being intriguing is kind of a new thing. So Vanderbilt, the higher ranked of the two. Vanderbilt and Tennessee, Vanderbilt higher ranked. Pretty wild. All right. I think that's what I got for college football. So yeah, let's move on. Flyers time. The Flyers had actually moved up to 4th. They're currently down 2-0 to the Lightning. It is end of the second period, so barring a comeback, they're going to lose that one. But the Flyers had moved up to 4th in the division, in the Metro, and were only 3 points back starting the night of the Islanders for 2nd, and the Islanders had played 3 more games. Now, obviously, this one's going to hurt them a little bit. I don't know if the Islanders are the Islanders playing tonight. Islanders don't play tonight. Did the Islanders play on Wednesday? The Islanders will play the Bruins on Wednesday when the Flyers will play the Panthers. But like I said, only 3 points back of the Islanders for 2nd in the division with 3 less games played, which is a very nice little spot to be. In the wild card, they're essentially 1st in the wild card. They're at 25 points. Everybody else behind them is at 25 points. The Pens, the Canadians, the Blue Jackets, all 25 points. 21 games, 22 games. The Bruins are the only team ahead of them in the wild card. They've played 24 games going into tonight. So the Flyers they're in it. They're in it, boys and girls. Like, the Flyers are around. A nice showing this past week. They beat the Blues in overtime, little overtime, a victory after going down 2-0 to open that game in the first period. And then what a wild, wild game against the Devils Saturday night. This game was so wild that I missed 3 goals because they happened so stinking fast. I got to go get to that game here so I can read this off to you because this was wild. It was 1-1. I look up again and I see them score their 4th goal. So Cates ties it 9 minutes in at 1-1. At 12:06 in, Big Meech scores a goal. Missed that. At 12:15 in, Forrester scores a goal. And then at 12:32 in, Forrester scores another goal. So in the matter of 26 game seconds, they put 3 goals on the board. Like I said, I was watching multiple things. I'm watching the game. I'm kind of paying attention. I'm looking at my phone, just doing stuff, chilling, hanging with the roommate. It's 1-1. I lose track of the game for a couple seconds. I look back up. I see the goal go in. It says 3-1. I'm like, oh, I missed another goal in here somewhere. I saw him go from up 2-1 to 3. And then I see the board. I'm like, it's 4-1. That's the third goal since the last time I looked like 2 minutes ago. It literally, I think, was like 2.5 or 3 minutes of like legit time. It was probably longer than that. It was probably like closer to 5. But either way, just an absolute offensive explosion. It got a little closer, got to 5-3, and then Zegers got on the break and just beautiful. Just beautiful. It was a goalapalooza, you may say. Goalapalooza. So 2 wins. 2 wins for the Flyers last week. Tough one tonight. Tampa Bay's good. So, you're dealing with, a tough team there. They get the Panthers. They get the Islanders on Black Friday, and then they have the Devils on Saturday. So big week coming up. Obviously, like I said, Islanders and Devils are those 2 teams out ahead of them. It's where you can do some stuff here, boys. And then the Panthers, they're actually a pretty solid team. They're 11-9-1, so 11-10. 11-10, you may say. 11-10 for those of us who adopt regular scoring, for your record. Carolina basketball, they beat Navy last week on Tuesday. Not too convincingly. Up by 7.5 and just kind of expanded a little bit. Caleb Wilson remains the dude for this team. Obviously, 23 points, 12 rebounds. Like, dude's just kind of like appears to be just a double machine. Hi, Boomer. Boomer's sitting here patiently and quietly waiting for me. You can see Boomer's just hanging. What's up, Big Boom? What's up, Big Boom? He's just hanging out. He's ready to party. He's ready to party. Where was I? Carolina basketball. Sorry, gotta get the camera and everything reset here. St. Bonaventure tomorrow. The Bonnies come to Chapel Hill, and then they play Michigan State. What is Suncoast Credit Union Arena? I'm sure that's on Thanksgiving Day, so I'm sure that's not a campus game. Suncoast Credit Union. Okay, now I need arena. Here. Fort Myers, Florida. Yeah. So there must be something going on there because that's just a little looking stadium. So they're playing a little something there. So yeah, so that'll be a fun game Thursday afternoon, 3:30 Central Time, so 4:30. So, kind of lined up with the Cowboys game if the Cowboys game becomes a stinker. And then Tuesday of next week they go to Kentucky. I think that one's actually at Kentucky. Yeah, Rupp Arena. Carolina and Kentucky do a nice thing where they actually do a home and home. They don't do all that, different bullshit of all the neutral court stuff. So what else we got going on in college basketball? I think Thursday is a good slate. What do we got tomorrow? Tomorrow, Tennessee and Houston tomorrow. Okay, not bad. Auburn, Michigan. Then Thursday, you also have Arkansas, Duke, BYU, Miami, TCU, and Florida. I was told Florida was the best team in the country by a friend of the program, Matt Wader. I don't know if that's turned out to be the case. And then a little Black Friday basketball as well. Black Friday. I love that we've basically been like, hey, day after Thanksgiving, we're turning that into a sports day. Illinois, UConn at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Nice. So we got college football. We got a nice college basketball game. We got an NFL game. That's a good day. A good day to wear off the turkey hangover. Just sit back, relax. I'd say, you let the ladies go out and do their Black Friday shopping, but I don't even know if that's a thing really anymore. Just kind of scan forward here. There's probably some Duke, Florida. I was going to say, I bet you that Tuesday, December 2nd, if they usually like to pair a nice game. UConn, Kansas is also that night. And then we're probably going to go into kind of a lull. Oh, we get Gonzaga, Kentucky on the 5th. And then we got the 6th is a nice one too. College basketball doing some nice matchups for us. We're getting way out ahead of ourselves now. So yeah, that's probably it in the hockey and college basketball front. We can keep this train a rolling. Keep the train a rolling. Time for some passing thought. I forgot to mention this in college football because of course I forgot to mention something. The Andrew Luck interview during the Stanford game when there's a fumble, he's like, ball, and he's like telling before he's like, hey, I gotta watch the play. Like the dude just loves football so much, it's awesome. And then he's like down the side, like, let's go. I forget the name of the guy who's screaming, but he's just so pumped and like so into it. He's ball. I love it so much. Big time football guy move there. And I've been seeing a lot more this year. The like Captain Andrew Luck Twitter account has returned. If you have never seen that, let me find it real quick. If you've never seen it, it's fantastic. Let me find it. Sorry, this hit me like mid stream here. Captain Andrew Luck. Hope this is right. Yeah. Dearest mother, I am overjoyed. Not only did our unit defeat the Bears draped in gold, but we recovered a relic axe that has a storied lore and great meaning to the men. Stupendous. Wake the hogs, wake the cows. All will want to be apprised of this victory immediately. Andrew. There's a better one about them playing Notre Dame. Here we go. Dearest mother, our campaign has nearly come to a close. One final battle remains. Scouts report of a group of combative leprechauns out of Notre Dame march this way. Astonishing. We shall drill extensively and twice as hard when a rainbow appears. There may be cantankerous, but possibly magical. But we are steadfast in our resolve. And I hope you guys can't hear Boomer too much over there. I'm up early recording this, and he apparently thinks it's time to go for his normal walk. It's like 6 a.m. It's dark as shit out. He ain't going for a walk. You're not yet, buddy. We're going soon. Go lay down. Or just stare at me. Speaking of normal morning rituals and walking Boomer, I was coming back from a walk the other day, and I saw a house down the street from me. I saw a Ford Ranger, like an early 2000s looking Ford Ranger. No backseat. It's just the bench seat with 3 kids just jammed in there going to school. And it made me laugh so much. I don't know why I found it so amusing to see these 3 high school kids just jammed into this Ford Ranger. And it's like the school is, I don't know, from where I was standing, is maybe a 4-minute drive. Maybe. Like if it's like you hit stop signs and you got to like kind of wait for cars, like you could probably be there in 2 minutes. The fact that instead of just getting a ride from his parents or, walking, he has one of his buddies come and pick him up and they ride in the school 3 across. Like that took me back a little bit. Like just the dumb shit you would do as a kid. Just be like, yeah, well, of course you're going to come pick me up. We're all going to ride in together for that 4 minutes. We're going to pile in instead of being more comfortable and getting a ride from one of my parents who would probably give me a ride and sitting in a normal seat. I'm going to squeeze into the middle of a Ford Ranger. Hell yeah. And hey, maybe they were going to go somewhere. Maybe they're going to go grab breakfast or something first. But either way, it just made me laugh. It made me chuckle. I found it so fun and funny. I really enjoyed it. Probably more than you would think. Oh, you know what I didn't enjoy? Excuse me for 1 second. I get really annoyed by cops who really hide their car on the highway. Like I saw this one and it popped up on my GPS. It was like, oh, cop up ahead. So I'm like, where is it? This thing was deep in the trees, like deep in the trees. And I don't get the point. Like, isn't the point of like a cop out on the highway, like to prevent people from speeding and driving dangerously. So shouldn't you be somewhere where you can be seen, not sitting under the crest of a hill? Like now people are still going fast. You're just catching them after the fact. Like, so you're not preventing anything. The habit you would think is dangerous that you're trying to prevent. Why don't you just sit out in plain sight so you can actually stop it? But no, we have to try and, catch everybody. Oh, hey buddy. Hi. How you doing? Yes, thank you. Okay. That's my cord. All right. Yeah. All right. I don't know. It just annoys me. It annoys me so much. I just wish they wouldn't do it. Also had to go through an experience with my vacuum the other day. Cleaning the house, doing the vacuuming. My vacuum, the swivel part, just a cheap piece of plastic, just snaps in two. So it won't, the spinny thing on the bottom won't work. I'm like, oh shit. My mom's coming, so we're cleaning the house. I'm like, God damn it. I was like, I'm going to have to go buy a new vacuum tomorrow. Then it hits me. I've got an old vacuum downstairs that the hose, same vacuum, the hose going from the sucky, sweepy thing up into the canister, that broke, but everything else on it works fine. I'm like, I can go cannibalize that one. I can take the hose off the one that still works, put it back on that, and we're good to go. I get that done. I'm like, we're rocking here. We're rocking. I had cut the cord on the other one for some reason. I don't know if I cut it by accident at one point or if I was just like, ooh, cut the cord. I don't know. You're like, that didn't work. So I had to go get a vacuum, which got me thinking. I have had, since I've moved out here to Wisconsin, which was in 2017, I've had 4 vacuums. 4 vacuums now. My mom has had the same Oric vacuum since 1995. That thing still runs. I think she actually finally got one that was lighter and easier to handle. But the other one still runs. It's like, I have to replace shit all the time now. Like, God damn it. Can't we just get something that lasts? It would be nice. It would be nice. You know what else would be nice? If we hadn't ruined cookie dough by making it ready to eat raw. You know what? If you weren't a pussy, it was ready to eat raw already. But now that we've made it all ready to eat raw, it's just different. It's just different. It's not as good raw. It just isn't the same. You got to actually make it into cookies more often. There's nothing like a good, actually raw cookie dough. And we've taken that. We've taken that joy. We've taken one of the great joys in life and changed it. And it's not the same. The little sugar cookies you get in the box, they're still good, but they're not what they were. I mean, I picked up some pizza from Papa Murphy's. It's a take and bake pizza place, which, by the way, is actually pretty good for, especially for the price point. And I got some cookie dough. And then I get it home and I see it says ready to eat raw. I was like, it's not good. It's probably no good. No, it wasn't no good. It just wasn't as good as it used to be. Sorry about that. So, yeah, cookie dough. It was better. It was better before. Just like the vacuums were apparently better before. I stumbled across the Instagram account Unforgettable Concerts. Unforgettable Concert Performances. There's a couple of different, kind of those, Instagram accounts kind of hanging around out there. But I was on Unforgettable Concert Performances for an hour Saturday night. I was watching the Flyers game. I was watching the college football. I was watching the Penn State game. And I'm just while doing it, I'm just listening to Unforgettable Concert Performances on Instagram. And then after the games ended, I just sat there for another half hour. Just both of those games were blowouts. So I was I was getting bored. And after they ended, I just sat there for another half hour, just scroll up to the next one, scroll up to the next one. I spent a lot of time just sitting there doing that. It was pretty wild. I guess I'll just end on this. This is kind of music related. I also listened to the song Why Don't You and I, Santana. Now, he did it with Nickelback, but he also did it with Alex Band. I think, right, is his name? Alex Band? Why don't you and I get together? It's much better with, I prefer the Alex Band version much better. And, I'm just saying, check it out. Check it out. Take a look at it. Closing time, everybody. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Appreciate the watches, appreciate the listens, appreciate the support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. It's the best holiday of the year. You get together with friends and family, have some drinks, eat some food, watch some football. Black Friday's going to be a great sports day too. So enjoy the whole Thanksgiving weekend. It's my literal favorite time of the year. It's my favorite holiday. I love it so much. I hope you guys enjoy it. Back next week to recap everything that happened in Thanksgiving week. Talk more college football, more NFL football, more Green Bay Packers, more Philadelphia Flyers, some North Carolina basketball, my passing thoughts, all of it. So don't forget to check out the merch shop with MJ and mine and MJ's merch shop. The link will be in the show notes below. And don't forget to check out MJ over at the Full Range Podcast on Spotify. And you can find him on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out my social medias, my Instagram. I'm putting out reels on there. The reels are also going on Facebook. So you can find those in a lot of different places. So till next week, peace.